Hey everyone, it's Patty from pspapercrafts. Thanks so much for joining me today. It's Friday and we're making a fun fold card. This is called a center step fun fold. So it sits like this and it opens up and it looks really complicated. Like when I looked at it, I was like, oh boy, but it's pretty easy. You just have to really know how to work your trimmer. We'll call it that. So this one I made, it's from I do a, excuse my writing here. I do an inspiration calendar every month, and I just have different things that I make. And on Fridays, I usually do a fun fold. And then I try to do a video. I make cards. I don't do every single day, but I usually do a sketch, a color combo, and a fun fold or a technique on Friday. So we are using on this one, I love this paper, and it is retiring soon. This is the Winter Meadow, and I use that for the designer series paper. And then I used the Christmas classics for the Peace on Earth. I love this. And then the Tidings of Comfort and Joy on the inside, and also this pine branches. And then I also use the dies that go with it to do these. I actually cut them both out of the back side of the designer series paper. Okay, I'll have all the instructions, the measurements, the product I used on both cards on my on a project sheet, which is, there's a link below here, and on my blog as well. All right, so let's get started. We're going to make a completely different card, and we are using the Beary Christmas paper. Is that what it's called? I know it's Beary Cute. Beary Christmas paper with the Beary Cute punch and stamp set. Okay, so I have some of the pieces cut, and we're going to actually punch some of these bears out. So let's get my pieces and let's get started with the base of the card. Okay, so I'm using Night of Navy, and then those are just some pieces we're going to use. And let me get my trimmer out. So this is your half of a 8.5 by 11 sheet that we usually make our A2 cards with. So it's 8.5 by 5.5. So I just cut the sheet right in half. And I'm going to look at my little cheat sheet as we go through here. So on the 5.5 side, we are going to line it up at the 1 1/4 mark, and then we are going to come down 1 inch. Now what I like to do, let me just make sure I have that in the right place. There's over here there's a ruler as well, and it's very hard to see, so I like to just slide a piece of white under here, and look at that, like magic. Now you can see those numbers. So we are going to come down to the 1 inch. So there's a little line in your, if you have a Stampin' Up trimmer, there's a little line here to line it up to the 1 inch. So we're gonna push down at 1 inch, and we are going down to 5 1/4 inches. So we're gonna go right down to 5 1/4, okay? This is the tricky part, but it's not that bad. Then we're going to move over to 4 1/4. So 4 1/4, and we're going to do the same thing. So I'm going to just slide this under here so I have visibility. You don't want it to go into your groove. You want it to be just on the side. And we're going to come down to 1 and go all the way to 5 1/4. Okay, so now we have these two lines. Now we're going to turn it around so that we're close to this side where the cut line is, not this wide side, the narrow side. So I hope I can explain this in my instructions. So on the 8.5, we're going to line up at 1, and then we're going to just score with the scoring blade right against, from the cut line up. So I'm just gonna kind of push down and put pressure, and then from the cut line down. Now this white paper won't help me because I'm doing it from the cut line. Okay, and then we're going to move it in to 2 inches. So we're going to line it up here at 2 inches, and we're going to do the same thing. Okay, so we're going to go from the cut line down, and then from the cut line up. Okay, so now we have at 1 inch, at 2 inches, scoring up to the cut line. And then we're going to move it to 4 1/4. And this time we're going to do the center. So this is going to be this fold here. So we did this fold, we're going to do this fold, and then this fold. All right, so 4 1/4. And then we're going to come down to the cut line and to that cut line, and just go back and forth to make sure it's nice and scored. And then we're going out to 5 1/4, and we're going to do the cut line to the edge, and then the same thing on the bottom, cut line to the edge. Okay, so now we have this funny piece. Let's put this aside, but it works. So we're going to fold and fold and fold and fold. So here you have it. This is our card base. Okay, and I have a little bit over here, but we're going to cover that up with some cardstock. Okay, so let's get our bone folder out and just burnish these folds. That's noisy. So I have my new glass mat. This, when Celebration, so Celebration's going to start in January with a new mini catalog. And excuse me, one of the offers is if you join and buy the starter kit, you can get this mat, this glass mat, along with this, where you can put like your stamp pads in. You can put little beads or trinkets here that you're working on, ink spots, whatever you want to use, and it's nice. It doesn't shift, so it's pretty cool. And then there's a cloth that comes with it too to clean it. This is dried out. You have to wet it to clean it. So that's all in Sale-a-bration, and I'm sending out my catalogs. If you need a catalog, email me, patty@pspapercrafts.com. I also sent an email about the starter kit, and I'll be advertising that a lot. It's really a good deal. I don't know off the top of my head the details, but I'll have them maybe below here if you wanted to find out more about it. So I just don't have it at the top of my head. On this one, I'm going to just see if I can just kind of flatten that score line out. There we go. I went a little bit far here. I think just here. So I'm on the back, and I'm just going to flatten it out. There you go. You can't even see it. Okay, so now what we want to do is get our pieces, and I am going to punch out some of these cute bears. I thought across the bottom, I was trying to decide whether I should put Designer Series paper, Balmy Blue, and I decided that I would use that snowflake embossing folder and make it snow. I don't know. I thought maybe I would cut paper, but I think that's what I'm going to do. So I have this Snowflake Sky 3D embossing folder, and we're just going to emboss this and see how it looks. And I'm going to go all the way at the bottom where there's lots of snow. This one, I don't know if you can see it, but it's got a lighter snow at the top and heavier snow at the bottom. So I'm going to just take my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. I'm going to lay this across the bottom and close it up. I have my base plate, the number 1, and then my specialty number 4 plate, which is for 3D embossing folders. Okay. All right, so let's get rid of this. You could use the balmy blue. You can also, I'm going to use the snowflakes along the side, but I thought the white would be nice. All right, so we're going to start building our little scene here. We are going to punch out the bear from some of this paper. I have some pieces cut already. I'm going to fussy cut that tree. We're going to punch this bear. You have to make sure you've got the bear walking in the right direction. So let's get our snips, because we want to feed him into the bear punch. So we'll just feed him in, and he's got a little rim of blue all around. So I like to kind of get him where I think he wants to be, press down a little bit, and then fine tune it. So that looks good. So he's going to be walking across, and then I'm going to cut, I want someone in the bear in this color sweater. So I hate to cut this paper, but you know, you have to do what you have to do. And I already cut out that tree and the star. Just, I didn't fussy cut it yet. I'll do that in a minute. Okay, so this is going to be a problem, I think, to fit in here. So what I'll do is I'll get a piece of Post-it note and make myself a handle. So I'm just going to tear it down, and I'm going to put it right here, and then this way I can feed it in and line it up. And I use this little tip or trick all the time. So now we've got our 2 bears, and they will be walking toward this tree. So I'm going to fast forward this, but I'm just going to cut it out, leaving a little blue so it kind of matches. Okay, so once you have it, if you need to, you know, touch it up at all with any sharp points, you can do that, but let's just keep moving forward. So I think I'm going to lay these down, have these guys walking across it, and then the tree at the end. All right, so let's get started with, we'll put these on first. And as I said, I have everything all documented in a project sheet, so I'll have all the measurements for pieces on there. So we'll just put this down on each side in this part, and just kind of center it, and then we'll put this on this side. I think this is going to be so cute. Very different from this. Now this one I use designer series paper where I'm going to put the white layer so it all matches. I just thought they wouldn't be walking across the snow, so, the big snowflakes. So I was trying to make it like a real scene. Okay, and then we'll put this here. So cute. And let's put this little star on the tree so I don't lose it. Oh boy. Okay. Actually, I'm just going to put it on the bottom. Cute. Okay, so we have those pieces done. Before I stamp my sentiment, which is going to go here, I want to see where I'm going to put these guys, so how far down I want to go. And you're only going to put glue or dimensionals, whatever you want to put, at the bottom. You don't want the bears to be glued down where you can't open the card, and the tree as well. So let's start with the tree. I'm going to put dimensionals right at the bottom. I think I'll just put 2. And put that right here. And then we'll put these down. You could use the minis, but I'm going to just cut my little pieces here. I probably have a piece. Do I have a piece? No, I'll just keep going. I probably have the outside of one of these where I've used all the inside pieces already. So we're going to put these down on the paws. And I guess I should take this off, huh? This is from when I did the punch. We don't need that. I was like, what is that piece there for? So we'll put this down. And I think these bears are just so cute. I love that you can punch them out, but I think they would also be very easy to fussy cut if you don't have the punch. The paper is fun. So let's see. You want to make sure they stay in the card. Okay, and then we'll put this guy down. And then we can see where we want to put the sentiment. Whoops, that's a little bit off. We don't want it to show through. I think I'm going to have to cut one more of these. That little tiny one. And let's cut one more. So I use every bit of my dimensionals, every little bit. Don't waste any of it. It's great. I have the mini dimensionals too, but sometimes I just prefer to cut the big ones. I'm leaving a mess all around me, but that's okay. I've been very good at cleaning up after. My craft space is a little bit smaller than when I lived in Florida and I had a whole big room. So I really have to stay on top of cleaning up. Isn't that cute? All right, so I think we're going to use the Christmas is Better Together. You know, you're together. And we are going to use Night of Navy ink, which I have right here. And let's just move this. This is all crooked. So I want to really have it up toward the top, or maybe down there a little bit. We're going to wing it. Right here. Christmas is better together. And then we can put this down with some liquid glue or whatever you use. I wouldn't pop it up because you have the bears popped up. Whoa. Getting away from me. All right. And we're just going to lay this in here. So cute. What do you think? So on the inside, I saw Wendy Crawford. She's my upline. I got the instructions from her. On the inside, she had the piece going this way. And then she put some, you know, decorations or whatever cutouts here. I did mine this way, and I'm going to do it the same here. So I have a piece that's going to go right across. And we are going to use Merry Christmas. And we can put a bear there. We can put a tree there. Along the bottom, I haven't decided. Or we could put, I may put just the designer series paper. across the bottom. So let's get that out. I like to have that laid out before I do anything. Let me just get a piece of this with the snowflakes, and we're going to do, this is 5 1/4 by 3. So we're going to do 3/4 of an inch. By 5 1/4. Okay, so we're gonna just, I'm not gonna adhere it until I stamp my sentiment, just in case I make a mistake, but I like to have it in place so I know where to put the sentiment. Again, you can stamp whatever you want, but I thought that would be cute. Let's close this up. We're almost done. Very easy, see? I'll tell you, once you have the trick on how to cut and the measurements, these cards become doable. The ones that you thought, oh my gosh, I can't do that one. How did they do it? And it's amazing all the people that, you know, share their ideas. I mean, I don't really have original. My designs are original, but not fun folds. My, you know, the cards I make on my blog, those are all original. But unless I say I cased it from someone. But the fun folds, I don't have an original one. They're all copied. So we are just going to put this down here. And we're done. So this is a great card because it does stand up. Let's just burnish these a little bit better. I always think, oh, I'm going to ruin the card with the last minute burnishing. Okay, so this one and then this one. Fun, pretty. All right, so this again is called a center step fun fold card. I really have to think of that. So thanks for joining me. Come back next week and we're going to make a pinwheel card. That's what my calendar says, so I better learn how to do that. Thanks again and enjoy your week. Bye.